I don't usually make big projects for myself. I'm almost always working on something smaller, baby pieces, things that are quick and practical. Adult-sized projects tend to sit at the bottom of my to-do list because they take more time, more yarn, and honestly, more space in my day that I usually, as a mom of a toddler, don't really have. But this vest stayed in my mind for months, quietly waiting for its turn, and instead of pushing it aside this time, I've decided to make room for it, slowly and without any pressure. It felt right and made me excited and inspired. Choosing the yarn always takes me longer than I plan. I spread different colors on the table and look at how they sit next to each other. Some shades blend nicely right away, while others look good at the first look but don't quite work once they are part of the group. It's a simple process of shifting things around, adding one color, removing other until the whole section feels comfortable and balanced. For the West, the palette came together in a calm, steady way. Nothing overly planned, just colors that felt warm and enjoyable to work with, and that made the project start to feel real. My sketches are always very simple, just a few shapes, a couple of lines, and some quick notes. It's not about creating something perfect, it's more about getting the idea out of my head and onto paper. It's really just an idea of what I am imagining at that moment. I know that the idea can easily change once I start crocheting, and that's completely fine. The sketch becomes part of the process, something I can return to later if I need inspiration or want to remind myself of the original version. It's not instructions, it's just a starting point that helps me see the project more clearly. There's something exciting about finally starting a project that has lived in your head for so long. Once I had the yarn and the sketches ready, it felt good to pick up my hook and begin building the first square. Choosing the right stitches matters, not just for the look, but for how the fabric will feel, how thick it will be, and how it will move when it's worn. The same goes for the colors. The front panel uses 3 shades, and even though it's the most colorful part of the vest, it still feels wearable and calm enough to pair with almost anything. After I settled on the stitch pattern and the order of the colors, the work became very natural. The squares grew quickly, and with each round the panel started taking shape, becoming something you could already picture as part of the finished piece. I like starting with a section that gives me the clearest idea of the final shape. It keeps the excitement going, especially in those moments when a project slows down a little or becomes repetitive. Seeing the front growing so quickly gave me that extra bit of motivation to keep going and reminded me why I wanted to make this vest in the first place. After finishing the front panel, the back panel felt familiar. The stitch count is almost the same with just a few small changes near the end, so once I got into the rhythm, it moved along quickly. This time I chose to make the entire panel in a single color. Partially because yarn ends can be a challenge, but also because I love the calm contrast it creates. The front is playful and full of colors, and the back balances it out in a softer, more wearable way. I want my designs to feel simple and easy to wear, and having the back panel in one tone gives the vest a clearer look. It still feels handmade, of course, but not in a way that shouts for attention, more in a way that feels natural and comfortable. The back panel was coming along really nicely, and I was enjoying the rhythm so much that I kept crocheting without thinking too much about the row count. At one point, I held it up and realized I had added a whole row more than I needed. It made me laugh a little, because this is exactly what crochet is sometimes: moving forward, then going back a bit, and then moving forward again. It's never a perfect straight line, but that's the charm of it. Undoing those stitches didn't bother me at all. If anything, it reminded me how much I enjoy the slow, thoughtful pace of making something by hand. Once both panels were finished, it was time to join them together. I used a warm burnt orange yarn to connect the shoulders and the sides, and I loved how that color formed the whole vest. It added a small detail without taking over. After that, I work around the arm openings, neckline, and the bottom edge. I started with one clear round of single crochet to give everything a solid base. Then I added a ribbing using front and back post stitches in pairs of 2. It's a simple edging, nothing too long or heavy, but it gives the vest a neat, finished look. Just enough structure without losing the softness of the granny square fabric. The next part of the project was all about hiding the yarn tails. And on the front panel, there were many of them. Every round was a different color, so cutting the yarn was only practical option. I always tried different techniques in color-heavy projects, like carrying the yarn or planning fewer transitions, but in the end, I almost always just cut yarn, which means the tails sit there waiting for attention until I finally gather the patience to deal with them. This time, I spent one quiet afternoon weaving them in, one by one. I always try to hide each tail inside the stitches made with that same color. It's a good rule to follow and it makes the finish look much clearer. And when all the ends were finally tucked away, the panel looked smooth, tidy, and completely worth the effort. And now we've reached the very last part of this little journey, looking at the finished vest. It's funny to think how long the idea lived only in my mind. Just a shape, some colors, a feeling. And now it's here, a real piece I can actually wear, soft and textured and full of hours of quiet crocheting. The front is bright and playful, the back calm and toned down. And together they make something simple but special, something that feels like me. And then, well, once the big vest was finished, I couldn't help it. I had yarn left and the idea was still warm in my hands, so I made a baby version of it too. Tiny, sweet, and just unbelievably cute. Seeing the two together feels like a little story all on its own. I will be working on a full video tutorial and a written pattern so you'll be able to follow along and make your own version. I really can't wait to share that with you. It's always the best part of finishing a project. Thank you for spending time with me, for watching and for being here. Stay creative, take time with your own projects, and I will see you next time. Bye!